Green flag, we're away. Good start with Jamie Main down here in second place. Hayden's in the lead, closely followed by Glenn, who had a fairly leisurely start in third place. All down into turn one safely so far. We'll get on the gas out of turn one. And Glenn's already up to second place. Hayden in first. This is a mixture of thousands and 600s. Here a couple of Ducatis out there as well. First standing start, everybody's through the hairpin. So Hayden in the lead coming out of Higgins, Glenn behind him, Jamie Maindonald behind him. And they've got a reasonable gap on the dice for fourth place. Just a position change there. So from the first standing start, Hayden still in the lead with Glenn following very closely, Jamie a little bit behind. And the first flying lap, the faster of the two was Glenn. Rain Princess at 1:2.388. Third was Jamie Maindonald. Fourth, Devil Gibbs. Fifth, Jake Keller. Sixth, Luke Jelly. 7, Ian Reid. 8, Robbie Crute. 9 is Ryan O'Neill. 10 is Jeff Crute. 11, Scott Dowman. 12 is Robert Lammis. 13, Terry Moran. 14 is Jeff Rogerson. 15, Esmond Williams. 16, Casey Johnson. And 17, Blair Shaw. Now getting back to the actual racing down the intermediate straight. Glenn just had a bit of a nip up under brakes, but didn't quite go it. He got a little bit wide coming out of Higgins, lost a few bike lengths to Hayden, but when he squared it off, he's got a bit more drive coming out of that corner, and then gets past them 3/4 way down the back straight. But Hayden under brakes carries on and takes the lead back from him. Now coming out of the sweeper, they're now side by side coming across the start line. Interesting to see who's the last of the late breakers into turn one. Hayden taking the very, very tight line. And right behind him, Jamie Maindonald third. Glenn whips up the inside in turn two. Hayden's not having any of that. He's pushing back towards the infield. So quite spirited racing going on here. If you're watching on C-Test, they're just going into the hairpin. Hayden goes up the inside, pushes Glenn a little bit wide, so they changed positions probably 3 or 4 times in 4 corners. So Glenn just missed a gear there. So much more exciting racing. See what they do down the back straight. Glenn just seems there's a little bit more grunt, but Hayden is a bit more. Oh no, Glenn has kept it through the S's, through the sweeper I should say, coming on to the start-finish straight. So across the line for the second time is the first flying lap. Glenn is in the lead. He did a 1:06.986, followed by Hayden Buttercup 1:07.233, followed quite closely by Jamie Maindonald at 1:07.783. The lead is going through the infield S's. Gas out of the hairpin straight towards Higgins. Jamie's a lonely old third now. He's dropped back by a couple of 100 metres. And Glenn seems to be controlling the front quite nicely now. Just got fantastic drive out of Higgins there. Very well done. So getting back to the positions. Glenn Scatchell first. Hayden Fitzgerald. Jamie Maindonald third. Fourth is Neville Gibbs. Fifth, Jake Keller. 6th, Ryan O'Neill. 7, Ian Reid. 8, Luke Jelly. 9, Jeff Crute. Now the lead has just come across the start finish line. So Glenn has just done a 1:05.917. So clearly on it. Second is Hayden. He did a 1:06.326. Jamie Maindonald a 1:07.787. Still waiting for fourth to come out of the sweeper and coming across the line now. The CBR 1000. It was Neville Gibbs, who did a 1:12.319. Jack Keller in fifth. sixth at a 1:11.989. So the leaders are now down the intermediate straight. It looks like Glenn has got a little bit of a gap on Hayden there. Going through Higgins. Hard on the gas again. He just seems to get a couple of bike links out of there every time now. So whether Hayden's having tyre troubles or he's just wearing an old tyre. Mike Webster was saying that they were running the SC0, the soft, yesterday, and after about 20 laps it was actually close. And Glenn was saying with the traction control on these bikes, you can't ride them fast with a knackered tyre. You can't ride around at the traction control just like nuts, and you just end up losing speed, and it's not an easy thing to do. So going through the infield S's, Glenn's got about a 10 bike length lead on Hayden Fitzgerald, and then probably a couple of 100 metres back to Jamie Maindonald, who's just going through the infield S's now. And a massive gap, the fight for fourth and fifth are just going into Toyota. So the field's relatively spread out now. And 3 laps to go. The dice for fourth are just trying to go around the outside of each other there. That's a fairly brave manoeuvre. Now he's picked up probably 100 metres or more on Hayden Fitzgerald now. Coming around after this, there'll be 2 laps to go. Just exiting Go Media sweeper onto the front straight. He winds the big Kawasaki up. 2 laps to go. Did a 1:06.489, so he's backed off a little bit. Half a second there, but clearly has a gap on Hayden. Waiting for Jamie Maindonald to come across the finish line now. He's in third place, just at a 1:10.665. So he looks like he's settled for third place. Fourth place and fifth place are just coming out of Go Media now, so there's a substantial gap back to fourth, fifth, sixth. That's probably the next closest racing that we're going to see. Fourth place is Jake Keller. He did a 1:11.694 on his R6, closely followed by Neville Gibbs, a 1:12.100 on a CBR 1000. So behind him, Ian Reid on a Yamaha R6, Jeff Crute in 8. 9 is Luke Jelly, 10 Robbie Crute, 11 Scott Dowman, 12 Robert Lammis. Waiting for the rest of the people to go now. Esmond Williams just picked the place up in 13th on Jeff Rogerson, 15th Casey Johnson, 16 is Terry Moran, 17 is Blair Shaw. So the leaders are just catching up on back markers now. Glenn's going through the infield S's. There's no doubt blue flags flashing at the hairpin. So he goes, takes the careful line around there as he's got a bit of a gap and just accelerates away from the back markers, easily taking 1, 2 down the intermediate straight. And coming up upon more traffic into Higgins. Fires the big Kawasaki up and he can launch past these guys like they're going backwards. That's horsepower for you. So then coming around for the checkered flag, Glenn's coming out of the Go Media sweeper and will fire the big Kawasaki up past the back marker and take a comfortable win. Hayden second. So even in traffic, Glenn did a 1:07.249, which is pretty good really. And waiting for third place to come over. He's coming out of the sweeper now. Is Jamie Maindonald on his Yamaha R1. That's him going across the line in third. But as I say, Jamie's only just got this R1. He's normally been a bit of a Suzuki stalwart. He's being backed by Easy Batch Buildings, Nationwide Pirelli, Wildside Alaska and Aussie Performance. I see Chris down there playing around with his suspension yesterday. So fourth place was Neville Gibbs, fifth place Ryan O'Neill, sixth place Jake Keller, 7 Ian Reid, 8 Jeff Crute, 9 Robbie Crute, 10 Luke Jelly, 11 Scott Dowman, and 12 Robert Lammas, 13 Esmond Williams, 14 Casey Johnson, 15 Jeff Rogerson, 16 Terry Moran, Blair Shaw. So from